welcome back to another episode of Over the Glass. I am your host, Jay.
I'm Nessa. Welcome back. What are we doing today?
So we just got done watching the Flyers game, and I mean, thankfully we're ending this road trip on a 500. We got 2 wins, we got 2 losses, and I mean, let's just kind of dive right in and break down what was happening during this road trip. Or I mean, we can even just go back to I was feeling good during the European trip. Like I felt like, at the beginning of the season,
They lost, but they had some fight in them.
Like, okay, we gave them benefit of doubt that we've got a whole bunch of new folks. We've got the whole coaching staff is, changed top to bottom. They seem to be, making improvements here and there. And then they come back and then it's like, was it jet lag? Was it we came back and we had to go against the Canes? I think the start of the deflate to me was when we lost against the Blackhawks. I mean, that team isn't exactly built to get very far this season with all the changes they made in the offseason, but to lose to them, I think it was 5-2 or something like that. It just that's not a good feeling going on into this road trip. And then we start off against the Islanders, and I mean, our first period has looked good, and then we kind of deflate after that. So already I'm having kind of like PTSD when we make it through the first period, and now we have to like brace for impact for the rest of the game. So in the first period against the
Islanders, really well the past 2 games in the second period, though.
Right. Yeah. So leading up into the Islanders game, we haven't really looked very good after the first 20 minutes. Up until the last 2 games, I think we were scoring first. We had very strong first period. So, we come in and that's feeling good. And then the next 40 minutes is like bracing for impact. Like no idea what this team is going to do. We start with the Islanders. We get another goal from Nico Strom. I mean, that third line has just been good for us. In the Islanders game, Nico Strom and Svechnikov were on the same line. I don't recall who the third one is because now they've slotted in LeBanc. I think it was Nieto. I think Nieto was on the third line for a little bit, and then they started moving some folks around. So they opened up well first in the first 20 minutes. They scored first. In that game, that was the fourth line. Over the course of this road trip, they got promoted up to the third line, so they got more minutes. But that goal from Strom was just a very good entrance into the zone, get past the defender, push the puck towards the net. I mean, the stuff you want to see. You've got to get the puck towards the net. And then Svechnikov was driving towards the net. So far. And he manages to tie up the defender, screening Varlamov. Magna comes in down from the left boards and takes another shot, gets the rebound. Strom is there working hard to get back to the net, and he gets one past Varlamov. So, yeah, that's what you want to see from the Sharks, right? But then the Islanders come in, and this is the thing that I noticed with the Islanders game. 2 of their goals came off of the face-off. And when I was taking a look at the stats after that, the percentage of face-off wins to our wins, they were 52% to our 47%. We can't be giving up shots off the face-off. I mean, getting possession is huge, and the Islanders took advantage of that during that game with those 2 shots that they managed to score off the face-off. Not only that, but they almost doubled their number of shots on us, and they took 46 shots. So James Reimer is giving us how many chances to stay in this game, and we're not doing him any favors. The most frustrating goal by the Islanders. And I watched this over and over again, and at the end of the day, I think the Sharks were just caught looking. They had 2 defenders back. I think it was Pajot came into the zone. Okay, he's up against the boards. Not a threat. He's not driving down the middle. But the rest of the forwards came in, and Nieto went to try and defend against him on the boards. The other 2, Bonino and LeBanc, go into the middle of the ice. Okay, sure, the threat is far away. No need to go all the way to the board. And just somehow they just decided, okay, cool, we're in our positions. We don't need to do anything anymore. And the Islanders are still trying to get into the play, and they're all just looking, and eventually the shot goes in between Shimmick, screened, past Reimer. If you got all these guys in front of the net, what are you doing? So that was the most frustrating goal for me. Just watching it over and over again and being like, what did everyone do wrong? The Sharks' second goal. Oh, this was off of the face-off. So Gadjevich gives the Islanders a primary opportunity as they pass it to Strom, but it gets picked off, and the Islanders attempt to break out of the zone. There's some miscommunication at the blue line that leads to a turnover to Benning, who comes in and just takes that shot with Shvetnikov going straight to the net to, I think he tipped it or something. It was hard to see because it got right in front of Varlamov, and he was driving towards the net, and I think it somehow went 5-hole or just over the pad. LeBanc got, I think at some point he got benched. I don't recall because that game was awful. But his time...
He got benched during the Rangers.
Well, in the Islanders game, his time on ice was the lowest on the team. It was 10 minutes. And I think LeBanc might have started out on the second line or something, and he was also on one of the power plays.
So I think I'm frustrated with him because he only ever responds when he is a healthy scratch. And then he falls off.
Well, he certainly hasn't been doing great after every season that we've... that one season, he took a hometown discount, and, he looked like he deserved more. And then now that he's got however many years we signed him, it's... Okay, he gets a pass from last season because he got injured, okay. And then last season was a natural disaster anyway, so no one looked good.
He wasn't doing great before then, though.
I want to say...
He wasn't putting up good numbers before he got injured.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the time when he was on the first power play unit, and he was looking promising a couple years back. And then that year that... I think it was salary issues. Maybe we needed to, between maybe the Carlson signing. I can't remember. The years are kind of blurring to me. But that one year, he probably deserved more than he got. We ended up giving him, a 1 year at $1 million or something like that. That was clearly a deal he made with management.
I think that was the 2019-2020 season.
Okay.
Because that was, I think he had his contract negotiations after the playoffs, 2019.
Yeah, that seems to line up, yeah. So, leading up to that season, you could say he was good. He was, helping the team. That's when he was a little more effective on the first power play unit. And then... he just really hasn't looked that way since then. And now we've got him locked in for, I think, he's got maybe another year left or something like that. So it's just not looking good. It just looks like another bad contract that we're lingering from the Doug Wilson era. But, to close out on the Islanders game... it just, those two goals that the Islanders won off the face-off, it's just those are the ones that stuck out to me. Reimer gave us a chance, and like always, we don't like our goalies, so we didn't get the win. So that sucked, and then okay, cool, yeah. So then we head over into Thursday with the Rangers, and I mean, to be honest with that game, I was I was a little concerned about us going on the PK because Rangers have a really good power play. They are what I wish the Sharks looked like, where they are constantly moving.
We were talking about the game while it was going on. Mm-hmm. Like, oh no, they're on the PK, and it was like, it's the only good thing about their play right now. Let them.
But even as good as our PK is, I was concerned about because the Rangers have a really good power play. So, but I mean, they managed to fend them off. They improved on their face-off, which, because everyone knows I'm a huge Mika Zibanejad fan, Mika is really good at the face-off. And we ended up getting a 57.9% on the face-off to their 42.1. The shots on goal were a little bit closer. No, we took 5 penalties, so managed to keep them from scoring, even though their power play is really deadly. The Rangers' second goal, I'm sorry, that was a very beautiful goal. That Panarin comes in the zone. Was
it the power play? No, it wasn't power play, but it was a really pretty play.
Yeah, so Fox chips it up to Panarin, who was already in the neutral zone. He's coming in. Fox is driving, right behind him into the play, and he passes it to Fox in like the middle of the ice. Back to Panarin, who takes a snipe from the left side and just beats Reimer short side. So I know that was so frustrating, and it was also a beautiful goal. So I can't be too upset. If the Sharks aren't going to stop them, at least I'm going to appreciate the beautiful goal. Sharks' second goal from Nieto. He redeems himself from last game, and that's when Šimik came in from the point, and then you just had like that trip.
Yeah, that was
just
a pretty goal too.
So, I mean, I've been really happy to see Šimik getting more into the play this season, especially when he got the really short end of the stick with Bubner last year. He looks like he is happier.
Yeah.
The third period, I mean, there was a good span of time when the Sharks were dominating. They had the most shots on goal in this period, holding the Rangers to just 2 shots to their 16. And then that overtime goal, I haven't celebrated that much in a while. Just like the cycle in the zone, and then Carlson doing like some like figure skating move and gets tripped. The puck goes behind the net to Timo. Timo comes around, and Erik Karlsson's just back up into the play and then just like shoots it home. On the replay, I saw that. Why does his name escape me now? Shesterkin. Shesterkin got too far out of the net with Timo coming around. He got too far out of the net, and when Timo came around behind him, he tried to turn around and he ran into the post. And so that definitely helped our chances with him not getting back into position. So I wasn't expecting that against the Rangers, especially with how good they are on the power play. But that was a good bounce back. And as you were pointing out earlier, LeBanc got benched during this game. to come back onto the ice against the Devils, and he is our lone goal
He's the
in the
only
second
one to
period.
score.
Yeah. That game, we gave up way too many shots. We were better on the face-offs. We again took too many penalties. Um, that goal by Sharon Govich, oh my God, that was so irritating. I think Quinn had. I think he was asked about Vlasic, since Vlasic was the one who was trying to get it out of the zone, and it got picked off by Sharon Govich, and he defended Vlasic, saying that, you know, again, it's a team sport. You need to be helping your defense. So if Vlasic is getting caught up against the boards, like, where are your forwards? Everyone's like so focused on getting out of the zone to, you know, start heading out the other way when the puck isn't even out of the zone yet. So he gets picked off. Sharon Govich comes back around, and he's basically one-on-one with Kakkonen, and he does like a fake with, I think they said on the broadcast, like he was doing something with his shoulders to kind of make it seem like he's about to take the shot, and Kakkonen bites so bad on it. And then just like easy, he's down on his pads.
I didn't catch
completely,
yesterday's game, so.
Well, that's essentially what happened. He faked him out. Kakkonen went down, and by that point, you basically, once you've gotten the goaltender to bite and go down on their pads, you basically take they're relying on their ability to laterally move back once they're on the ice, which reduces their chances once you drop down from your skates. So Sharon Govich basically just like backhands it past him. So yeah, everyone's fault on that goal. But again, Shimmick is shining. Top players are just ghosting out there. They're looking sloppy.
You said coasting or ghosting? I don't know, but I was like, Eric Carlson's been playing pretty good.
They're ghosting. They're looking sloppy. I mean, yeah, Eric Carlson's been getting into the play. I know that everyone's got their. I don't think we're ever going to escape the fact that, yes, he's making the most out of the whole team. Yes, it does shine a light on him that because he's the highest paid Sharks player. Yes, you should be earning your pay, but when everyone else doesn't want to show up, with the exception of the bottom six players, at the end of the day, like, he's been getting the most minutes, and yes, he is going to be making mistakes, and they will be put out there more on display because he's going to be out on the ice more. But I agree, he's been good. He could be way better, but so can the rest of the team. So can our captain. So can everyone else on the top two lines. I mean, this game with the against the Flyers, yeah, like that first goal that we got was a good. The Flyers started getting scrambled in front in their net. Not their net. They're in their zone. They couldn't get it out. And the Sharks were capitalizing on that, and that's what you want your top players to be doing. And where were they during last game? The lone goal that we had in that game against the Devils was LeBanc, who obviously had to spend that whole previous game sitting up in the press box. So just determined to do exactly what he did in that game when he came back. The assists went to Steve Harrington and to Oscar Lindblom. So, I mean, yes, we want to see our third and fourth liners to be getting into the play, but not at the expense of our top guys not being there. So, I mean, the third and fourth liners have been putting in the work over the last couple of games, notably, and Eric Carlson has been getting into assists as well. Going into the Flyers game, as I mentioned, Timo Meyer and Barabarov, who I have liked so far on the first line. I mean, you have Lauren coming in with Magna and Nieto onto that second goal. And then, as you've mentioned over the last week, that, Nico Sturm is kind of... Is it Sturm or Sturm? Sturm? Is it Sturm?
Yeah.
I'm starting to talk like the broadcast. They keep getting that mixed up. But I mean, he shined going back into the Islanders game. He was part of the best line that we had. And the third period, I felt like we gave ourselves a pretty good chance of closing it out, because I was a little concerned that, because we haven't had the best, we haven't shined in the third period, that we were, like that was going to be it again. But it's gonna be a tough homestand. It's Vegas, and then I think the Leafs, which that'll be interesting to see, because they're supposed to be winning games,
Yeah.
and they've got the guys to do it. So, and then after that, we've got the Lightning that are coming off of their trifecta of Stanley Cup champion. So
They've only won 2.
they've won 3 in a row. Oh, what what I'm thinking is the trifecta of Corey Perry.
Oh yeah.
Because he's been on 3 back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, and has been on the losing end of it. So that's what I got mixed up with. But even still, they went all the way to the finals. So, and they didn't
3
change
years
a
in a
whole
row.
lot in their lineup. They still have, yeah. So, I mean, they've still got freaking Vasilevsky in goal, who's just that guy. Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling coming back home and having those 3 as our next opponents. Sharks got a lot to work on.
3 more losses.
All right, so that's all I've got. You got any closing thoughts?
Players that stand out to me so far, because I don't watch plays the way you do: Sturm, Carlson, and Shimmick. And Barabanov, but...
Alrighty, so that's just going to be our show for today. Just a breakdown of the road trip and some things that stuck out to us, and the breakdown of the goals, and hopefully we got a little bit more positivity to talk about next week. Hopefully we can grab some wins at home, and get a boost of energy from getting a win against any of these top teams in the league that are likely to head out to the playoffs. But yep, that's kind of all I got. So until next episode, I'm your host, Jay.
And Nessa, thanks for joining us.